So welcome back to another drawing session of The Raven. I'm your host, Ray. I'm at this point just trying to get these drawings refined, get these numbers that I have up here. I'm going to get this stuff, page numbers 23 to 3. Out of all these pages have something that needs to be fixed. Some of them refined drawings like 13, 10, 8, and 7. Some just need speech bubbles and text, and then some need, well, just speech bubbles. And then again, so these 3, 4, 5, and 6 need speech bubbles. 7, 8, 10, 13, I believe, need some refined drawings or finished drawings. And then 23 needs the speech bubbles and text. So starting on page 3, I'm going to see where this takes me. So there's not a whole lot to say about this. If you've seen the other videos, this really what I'm doing is refining again what I have here. So what I'm going to do is try to put all these little bubbles in here. And the interesting thing about, I think I did this last time. The interesting thing about the way that I did these, I wasn't really thinking about how this is going to look in the long run. I just wanted to get the idea done. But anyway, now I'm concerned with, getting this done. Oh no, touch. It's not what I meant to do. There's a rounded balloon, and then there's a rectangular balloon, and then in the rectangular balloon, you can actually round off the corners. Not that rounded. The roundness of corner. There it is. Roundness of corner. That's 1,000. So like, see how ovular that looks almost. That's pretty close to matching the. Let me just move this down. The thickness of the lines for the drawings, or at least it will. So that my thing is, I like to try to keep them close. I think it looks cleaner that way, but that's just my opinion. That's not a hard rule or anything. And then the cool thing about Clip Studio Paint is that it's got this balloon tail. I'm sure you know if you've ever used it, but it does really well with the rectangular curve and all that. Basically, if it's got the straight line, it does a really good job because it's just a straight vector line. It has a problem connecting like one of these ellipse balloons here. It gets kind of wonky. I don't know. It's not terrible, but if you have any sort of attention to detail or any kind of OCD, it's going to bother you. I'm sure if you've seen any of these videos before, you've seen what I mean. But so I'm not gonna show you that right now. But if it happens to come up, I'll show you. So I'm a little out of breath. I'm trying to get myself back in shape because round may in fact be a description of a shape, but it is not a shape. Don't want to be a sphere anymore, okay? Just to be in really good shape, more than once actually. As an adult, I've fluctuated a lot with my weight, and I just need to stop. It's not good, man. Let me lock this one and that one. If they're locked, it won't combine it, I learned. So we're going to do it that way. If they aren't locked, at the layers in Clip Studio Paint, if you go to do those balloons, it will force the balloon and text onto one layer as an object. And I just don't like that because I want to be able to move around. Now, if I kept them separately as an object, as two separate sub files or, layers, that'd be fine, but it doesn't do that. At least not on this version, the version that I have, which is version 3, I believe, the standalone perpetual license, because I didn't want to pay for long term. I don't want to pay for it because I already have Adobe, and that's pricey enough as it is. And I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep paying for Adobe. So we will see. Oh, it's because it's layers above. Hold on. There you go. So this is relatively straightforward. I'm just going to keep working this and see what I can get done. Like I said, as quickly as possible. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter, which I had mentioned before. I realized I should probably start these videos a little differently. I should probably do something like this. So today I'm going to be fixing up some drawings and adding some speech bubbles and some text to my comic book, The Raven. I'm going to do my best to refine some of the drawings, get it to a point where I'm happy with what everything is set up, including text, the speech bubbles, the annotations, anything that I need to tell the story. And then I'm going to go back and ink and shade. So I'm doing them in sort of like that's what I'm looking for. Almost like an assembly line where you go sketching, texting, making sure the story makes sense, refining the drawings, adding the speech bubbles and annotation and all that stuff, then inking and then going back and shading everything. That way I feel like I'm not seeing the same panel over and over and over again in the same sitting. I actually come back to it and I can kind of go, okay, that looks bad. Let me fix this. Or I don't like the way that looks. Or maybe, oh, why didn't I do this? That kind of stuff. Anyway, that's what I'm doing today. So hold on to your butts. Let's get into it. So for this guy, I'm going to, all right. Sorry, brain fart. I gotta start titling and theming these videos. So that one's locked. Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let's move that down a little bit. There's like a whole science to this, really. You know, there's an art to this. There's an art to the actual text. And I've always loved the way that comic book art looks. You know, text as well, not just the actual physical, not just the drawings, but the art itself. Of the the text itself is like an art in art form. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm going to go and, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just do all these bubbles real quick. And then I'm going to add the little tails. Now, see, when I didn't do that and it just kind of stuck it together, that's fine for this one because I'm not that worried about it. This one, I've gotten kind of used to how this works. I'm okay with the way that one looks. Let me see, where's the, okay. Lock that. And then I can, yeah, I really should just keep doing it that way. It's good practice because all right. I think that's going to work, yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way they look. They're sketched, but I can ink them from there, and I think it'll look good. That's just me, though. You never know. Actually, there's a comic artist on YouTube. Here on YouTube. And well, I don't know his name. I don't know what honestly, I don't know what he contributes to for all I know, it's AI. I don't know. But the drawing, the artist that does it is actually a female. Her name is Lydia, apparently. And I don't know if he sketches. I can't quite tell if it's AI or not. I mean, It's hard to tell nowadays for me. I can tell the artwork or music is AI, but someone just speech patterns, they've gotten really, really good. It doesn't sound computerized or flat, but anyway, that's not the point. There's this artist that has this, she can take a really messy sketch and ink out some incredible stuff from it. The way she refines the drawings that she has. So I don't know if they're her sketches that she's inking, or if, because I swore he said he sends sketches to her, or he does coloring. I'm pretty sure he said. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure he does the coloring. I don't know if he does the sketches, but her sketches are really rough, if they are, and then her inks are amazing. So I'm not as concerned with these sketches. I think they'll be fine. But I was watching that. I'm like, oh, I'm not the only person that does that. That's cool. It's not nearly as chaotic as the sketches that she had were. Yeah, anyway. Just thought I would share that. I think it's pretty cool. Oops, now we need a new one. I think it's cool that people are out there doing traditional comics inking. That's also something. The next time I do this, if I decide to do another comic, I do another one shot, it's going to be traditional ink because I think it's cool. That's why. Okay. And if you don't like the way this is, you actually can scale this. You don't have to redraw it necessarily. But only if you don't have it on the same layer. At least that's to my understanding. Couldn't figure out how to do it the other way. I don't know why that's the default, but it is. So now that I have... Let's realize... Probably locked. Now that I have the balloon, I'm just going to go ahead and do the tail real quick for each of these. Let's see. Oops. That's also what's really cool about those bubbles is that you can combine them like that. And when you use the smart bubbles, I don't know what else to call them. It's CSPs technology. Words are hard. Okay. All right. So a lot of times you don't want your artwork to get overshadowed. Like that's fine. You can tell it's coming from him. You don't even really need the tails necessarily when it's an individual. Like, I mean, I could just put it close. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Unless it's someone off screen or off the panel, you can do like a squiggly line to kind of say that they're off panel. That's what I use those little squiggly bubbles for. Or if it's somebody that's not actually physically in the same area, like a TV or something. Like a broadcast or something, like a radio or the television screen or something like that. So this is kind of painstaking to do it this way, but this way I don't make any goofy mistakes. Like, you know. Hang on. When I was a kid, I used to draw these all by hand. Obviously, the digital, the little thought bubbles and stuff. I always thought, like, how do they do it so good, man? I when they would write their text, it was beautiful. And I just thought, like, are they printing it somehow, whatever? And no, back in the day, they used to just do it freehand. I got better at it after doing it a bunch. I actually had a class where we were taught to write. It was industrial arts many years ago. We were taught to that worked the way the artwork's not covered up. We're taught to write in all capital letters, much like you would see like this. So I thought it was kind of cool. To me, it was comic practice, so I thought it was cool. But I mean, it can be tedious to do it every day. But it taught me how to write in capital letters consistently because we did it on little lines. We were required to do it like, when you're a kid, you're like 5 or 6 years old, the huge little dotted lines. We didn't have that. This was like college rolled notebook paper, and you had to try to get a full-size set of letters, you did like the letter A like 30 times, and then B and C and so on and so forth. It was a lot of work. A lot of work. But it was cool. All right, so what I think I'm going to try to do is one page at a time. And since this is about 20 minutes, I'm going to kind of try to keep these videos shorter this time. See how you guys like it. See if you'd rather see it in small, just digestible chunks, or do you want to binge for an hour? I'm guilty. I like to see them short. So you let me know if you want them longer, shorter. That's not a euphemism. So keep your mind out of the gutter, okay? You heard me. All right, so let's see. This one is done. But like I said, I gotta come back and ink it all. That's fine, though. That's fine. We're good. So I'm done with this page for now. I'm going to come back and I'll see you in the next one. Come back, little boys and girls. Come back. Hang out with me.